Hello everyone, welcome to our interview video presentation. We are final year student of the Bachelor of Business Management degree in Human Resource Management at the University of Kelaniya. This interview is part of our group assignment for the subject of International Human Resource Management, and we are excited to share our experience and the insight we gained. The main goal of this assignment was to connect what we have learned in class with the real-world practices of international HR. Our lectures encourage us to go beyond the textbook, to learn from people with the multinational companies and to understand how they handle human resource challenges globally. As a group, we decided to conduct an interview with a human resource manager who has worked extensively in a multinational setting. This person has not only handled local HR responsibilities but also had experience with international assignment, cross-cultural management, and global talent development. By interviewing them, we hope to gain practical knowledge of how international HR strategies are applied in real-world work environment, especially in areas such as expatriate support, managing diversity, and global teamwork. Before we dive into interview itself, let's take a few minutes to explain core concept behind our topic. BHRM is essential about managing people in companies that operate in more than one country. Unlike domestic HRM, which deal with HR activities within one country, international HRM involve additional layers of complexity, such as working with different legal systems, cultures, languages, currencies, time zone, and labor expectations. IHRM include recruiting and selecting international employees, training and developing global teams, managing expatriate assignment, dealing with cultural differences, designing global compensation structures, and supporting work-life balance across borders. It also involves managing remote workforce, virtual team across continents, and handling challenges such as political risk, relocation costs, and foreign work permits. So it's not just about HR, it's about strategic global HR. We had several objectives in mind when preparing for this interview. These include understanding how global HR departments operate in practice, learning how companies manage cultural and language differences, exploring how expatriate employees and their families are supported during international relocations, identifying the HR policies and systems that help improving employees' performance across borders, and finally hearing personal reflection on what it's like to work globally. We also wanted to hear about human side of international HRM, the emotional and social experience behind business decisions. Things like dealing with home. The interview was planned carefully and structured into 8 sections as guided by our assignment instructions. These were introduction, background and career path of HR manager, working environment and culture in the company, international assignments and cultural adaptation, family and work-life balance, career growth and key learnings, reflections and advice, wrap up and final remarks. We started with a brief self-introduction and introduced the purpose of the interview. With the HR manager's consent, we recorded the session for educational use and to share it with you all today. We ensured the discussion remained respectful and confidential where required. The questions were open-ended to encourage a relaxed, storytelling style interview, and what we got was full of wisdom, honesty, and practical insights. The HR professional we spoke to is currently working at a leading multinational company that operates both in Sri Lanka and internationally. Due to company confidentiality, we are not disclosing the exact name, but we can say that it's a globally respected organization with strong HR practices and international operations. What made this person ideal for our interview was their unique background. They had experience managing teams both locally and abroad. They had personally undergone international relocation. They were actively involved in designing HR strategies for cross-cultural teams, and they had real stories to share about the struggles and success of global HR. We also learned how important it is for companies to develop support systems, not just for expatriates but also for their families. This includes things like pre-departure training, housing and schooling support, language and cultural coaching, and emotional and well-being service. This video is divided into several parts based on different themes like career background, international experience, cultural challenges, and personal reflections. Feel free to watch it all the way through or jump to the sections that interest you most. We hope you enjoy the conversation and gain valuable insights into the world of international HRM. Now, let's get started.
I'm the fourth year undergraduate of University of Kelaniya attached to Faculty of Commerce and Management Studies, Department of Human Resource Management. Today we are here to do assignment related to international human resource management. So good morning, I'm Shani. So today we have Mr. Nilanga Lakmal, who is a project manager. So let's move on to the interview.
Comes to my experience in professional background. So I have joined in 2012 with one of the construction project called Heritage Nilanga, that for 8 space hotels. So I have joined as a civil engineer there, and we have completed that one for 5 billion project there at 143 rooms hotel. And then later I have joined with Royal House of Fashion Building Construction. So that is also around 1.1 billion project. So later I have joined with Sanken Design firm to qualify as a design engineer for the structural design. Once after completed that design practice, I have directly joined one of the iconic building in Sri Lanka, capital Twin Peaks and Union Place. It was 50-story twin towers by connecting those to the Sky Bridge. So that is the first of Sri Lanka at that time by connecting those kind of bridge buildings. Later, I got the chance to join with, since it is Sanken is a multinational company. So I got the chance to join with one of the overseas project called Resort Construction Project in Maldives. I was appointed as a project manager. So I have been there to complete completion of the project. Later I have came back to Sri Lanka, and then I have joined some tendering process in the company.
So, can we know about what inspired you to join a multinational corporation?
Yeah, actually, even as a civil engineer since my first degree, so we are very enthusiastic on different technological things as engineers. So we have directly joined with building construction. You know that civil engineering are verified into different areas building construction, road, irrigation, likewise, there are so many. But I prefer to join with building construction. Even in this company, it has some international arms. So I prefer to join that to get some experience, not only the local experience but also outside the Sri Lanka. So that is why I have joined with some multinational company.
So may you know about your current job roles and responsibilities in this company?
Yeah. Uh, Here I'm working as a chartered civil engineer now. Current job role is manager projects. So different projects handled by the manager projects. So they have different roles to uh, complete until completion of this project. That's mean the coordination of the architects, engineers, our clients, and any other stakeholders who are representing the project. That is that the responsibility is to complete the project successfully, whatever projects you are getting. So with that one, also the interference with different country peoples.
Can you know what is the working culture comparing multinational company and the local company? Is the local company difference between multinational and local company working culture?
Yeah, actually, that's depend. Anyway, for local, we have to distinguish between local and foreign, like which I have. So, one of the Europe countries, and also some of the subcontractors are from different countries like India, China, maybe Germany, likewise. Rather than local companies, multinational companies, you join the first time. So there are some challenges with their cross-cultural activities and also with language. Right, different languages you have to practice. Some Japanese don't want to speak in English much. Right, likewise, you have some barriers there. But overall, if you are going into technical matters, it's same. Nothing. It's what the people wants. So there are some challenges when you are doing the first time. But with the time when you are practicing, the cross-cultural effect will not be much affected to your growth. Right? So it is a different between local company and multinational company since there are so many other country people meeting with required purpose.
And sir, what are the practical related diversity and inclusion issues in this practical issues?
Issues related to diversity
Yeah, inclusion problems, issues, different
Do you have
races.
any diversify employees like don't care about their religion, race, and no discrimination regarding their religion,
Their color.
You are asking my perception.
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. So, no, actually, not like that. Since we all are human, so that kind of things we have not never experienced. But sometimes, depending on let's say some workers, not the staff level, but workers for the construction works, normally we have a different Bangladesh, likewise. Depending on their intention to work, sometimes there may be some agreements with them. Right? So, rather than that one, I don't think any interference between
Don't you face any discrimination regarding any your race, religion, or your country?
no, not actually.
And sir, how your company manages cost constraints? Mean different ways how to manage these problems.
Yeah, actually, that as I explained, these different people are from different countries, have different religion, races, and other things. But as I said earlier, at the first time, if you met them with the appropriate words, you have to have some education on that prior to joining them. Right? What kind of expectation they have with their maybe religion. Likewise, if you are having some that homework when before you are joining with them, I think that is not a challenge to work with cross-cultural people. And cross-cultural activities also sometimes company arranging some different activities, right, to get familiarized with them, their culture, their thinking pattern. Likewise, if you are practicing before the engagement, I think that can be handled. That cross-cultural issues may not be arising.
And second, can you highlight any key HR policies that you help to manage the cross-cultural teams and collages perform to better?
Yeah, actually, when we discuss about the HR policies, there are some differences in when you are working in local, when you are working in multinational the overseas company. So, since even though it is overseas company, it is a part of one arm of the local company. So, the major HR platform we are using local system. So, even though depending on some cases to perform required activity, we need to have that qualified people. So with that one, we are selecting that qualified people. Other than that, we don't have any race or ethnically differentiation on recruiting the people.
To international exposure, so do you have any opportunity to work abroad through your multinational company? Are there any opportunities? Can we know about that?
Yeah, actually, this company explained earlier also. So I got different occasions to visit and work some different countries one by one. So usually for the project purpose in our one of the construction project, I was managed as engineering manager. With that one, I have to comply with some engineering aspects. So to fulfill that cases, we have to have some inspections on overseas companies. So with that one, we have done with one of the building simulation company for that. We call that wind tunnel test for the evaluate the effect of wind to the buildings. So that I have done in that company Sydney, Australia. It's called CPP. So we have visited there and checked the compliance of our accounts for that particular projects, and we have worked with them. And also later we have some facade, glass facade we have checked with in India. So I have visited many times there to coordinate with them to get required output to our projects, and we have deal with different people in India and Bangladesh and Singapore, like plus different architects are from there. So I have coordinated with them, and also yeah, some that as architect and some consultants from Singapore, we have visited there for their producers to get some meetings for the project purpose. Likewise, time to time, since it's multinational company, we have to join with them. As my major project was large duration, I was at the Maldives. Right, that is not in the Malay city, but that is in one of the island. we are developing that as a resort. But that was my major projects in overseas. In Maldives, where I have worked with different country people there.
So, what are the main challenges you faced working in a foreign company?
Uh, yeah, there are challenges. There are challenges, especially you have to adopt when you are working there. You have to adopt their working environment, not like in Sri Lanka. You have to adopt that, and also the language issues is there. Not as I explained, many people some speak in English, right? They can understand, but some other people don't want to speak in English. So they are reluctant to use English. Then we have some translators, and likewise some communication gaps may be there. Uh, uh, yeah, other than that, their cultures somewhat different, but that is not as I explained. If we have pre-education on that one, we can mitigate that issues.
So, as you mentioned about there are many challenges. So, how did you overcome those cultural and professional differences?
Yeah, actually, with the time, uh, with your pre-education, with your investigations, you have to have some working on there, right? How identify different people and deal with them differently, right? To get your whatever the desired results, okay. So that one in the professional level, we have to do that part, and we got some good results by working there with the time. Right? So, as I say, in my field, we are working with some different workers. Right? Workers are difficult to handle. So, because they don't want to take that language benefits there. We have to learn their language for the workers actually. So with that one, not only actually it is not the perfectly learned language, but there are some terminologies there that they are using in the construction field. That they are using some words. We have to practice that one and deal accordingly.
Work and family balance. How your family adapt to your working demands, especially international projects. How your balance your work and family life.
Yeah, as Sri Lankan culture, uh, that when we are not in Sri Lanka, it is very difficult to manage our families as well. So they, they are doing a big dedication and for that managing day-to-day works here. We are not in Sri Lanka, but it is very difficult. I have to say it is very difficult and very challenging when you are working overseas and get things done in here. But with the time, they are adjusting someone, but not fully. It's somewhat difficult, I have to say.
And sir, do you have any support system provided by your company to help to manage a work-life balance or family adjustment?
Yeah, there are different measures are taken to mitigate this issue. So sometimes the full family can relocate where you are working, so they can settle there for the specific period of time and come back. So that kind of facilities are there, and also they are arranging. The company is arranging the different short-term visit, right? So that one also some effects are there that even the 3 months, 4 months gaps they can visit to Sri Lanka. All the expenses are bear by the company. That kind of facilities are given to employees who are working overseas. Uh, and also nowadays technologies booming. So with that one also they are connecting one to one in this stage. But the previous years, let's say 10 to 15 years back, it was somewhat difficult since even they can't see uh, using internet. But now it is not. But the physically, if we are not, even though we are not here in physically, but we can communicate with them in through internet.
Let's move on to your career impact and learnings. In what ways these working culture at large multinational contributed to your career development?
Yeah, it is obvious. It is obvious. Many people don't get that chance. But who are working in local companies now, they getting good chances to join with overseas projects. Not only projects but also some coordination with all people. It is actually a very good development in our career with having that opportunity because we have to deal with different people, different stakeholders who are beyond us. As those people have, uh, we are maintaining our contact list. That, even not in Sri Lanka, but overseas. So even when later, if we are want to get done any jobs, we are having variety of resources since we are engaging with that. The career development also happen with these allocations of projects. You are getting different experience. Right? Experience is much more important to deal with the overseas project. It is a good opportunity working in this company to get our career development.
What are the key skills and values have you gained from these multinational experience?
Yeah, actually, you know that Sri Lanka is stagnant in when we have, I think, talk about technology. In our field, the technology is too much, as I earlier said. We have to update. Right. So for that update, we are getting more and more exposure. We join with the other companies. So definitely it is develop our skills and different exposure. We develop our knowledge and those kind of very beneficial skills and knowledge we are getting engaging with the multinational people.
So, have you mentored or coached others, employees in your organization, and how was like that?
With that one, I have to mention in local. So even in that particular project, I call that one of the iconic building in Colombo. When we are working there, so different trainees coming to get their experiences as intern. So I have the authorized people to guide them. So they are, I have guided them throughout their training period by telling that what they should get through a intern. So with that one, their writing skills, I have checked their diaries and all the things. And likewise, we have given some motivation to do their works. And also, when I'm working in overseas on the modules, the different assistant engineers, different administrative people, so they are also more away from their homes, right? By giving some motivational, introduce some motivational aspects and other things, we are getting their work uh, to motivating them to their career development as well.
Selection and advisor. What do you enjoy about most about working in a multinational environment context?
Yeah, actually, it is obvious you are having different experience rather than working in some single. So primarily it is a different visit, a different like a trip.
This interview. It's pleasure to meet you, and thank you so much for dedicating your valuable time and sharing your valuable experience with us. So thank you so much for joining us today. So we learned many valuable things regarding your career, these multinational exposure and everything. Thank you so much.
That brings us to the end of our insightful interview with the marketing manager, Mr. Nilanga Lakmal. We would like to take a moment to reflect on the key learning and takeaway from this experience. Throughout this interview, we gain a deeper understanding of the realities of working in a multinational organization. The marketing manager's experience highlighted how international exposure enhanced not only professional development but also um, personal growth. Managing cross-cultural team, adapting to diverse work environment, and balancing family life with uh, demanding committees are all part of the broader international HRM landscape. It was especially interesting to hear how the organization fosters diversity and inclusion, and how their HR policies and other policies are designed to support employee working cross borders. The manager emphasized the importance of cultural sensitivity, flexibility, and continuous learning, all of which are vital to today's global workforce. We were also inspired by the marketing manager's personal journey, from education to navigating global assignment, and how those experiences shaped their leadership styles. The showed how multinational companies not only invest in talent but also cultivating a learning culture. The interview also helped us link real world practices with theoretical concepts we have learned in our international HRM course. From global mobility strategies to the challenges of ex, expatriate adjustment. The practical insight added significant value to our academic understanding. Before we end, we would like to express our heartful appreciation to the marketing manager, Mr. Nilanga Lakmal, for taking to the time to share such valuable experience with us. Your openness and depth of knowledge truly enrich our project. Also, big thank you to our lecturer and the Department of Human Resource Management for guiding us toward this assignment. This handoff approach helps us develop both our the research and presentation skills. We hope this interview video not only meets the project our course but also provides future students and professionals with useful insight to international human resource management. Thank you for watching.